contrabando. Ese lunar que tienes, cielito lindo junto a la boca, no se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran siempre.
Sí, se usa cloro.
Está emparejando el dibujo allí, va emparejando el dibujo. Ahí a tejido.
He's moving faster than I can.
Las telas,
Canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. De domingo a domingo, cielito lindo, te vengo a ver. Cuando será domingo, cielito lindo, para volver. Ese lunar que tiene, cielito lindo, junto a la boca, no se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 canta y no llores.
Hi, my name is Barbara Wishingrad, and I'm the founder and director of the Rebozo Way Cultural and Educational Project. The project is named after the Mexican rebozo, which is the traditional shawl used by women and girls of all ages for warmth, for protection from the strong sun, and for carrying just about anything, from food to firewood to infants and small children. The project is dedicated to educating people about the history and techniques of baby carrying in rebozos and other traditional cloth carriers throughout the world. To date, it has focused on the Mexican rebozo and its close cousin, the Guatemalan sute. A rebozo is a piece of cloth that may come in a variety of fabrics or colors, with specific markings or weaves depending on the village from which it is made. It is longer than it is wide, and it may be worn on the back or on the front, as seen on this woman I met in the Zocalo in Oaxaca, Mexico. A sute is a square shape and may be worn on the head, back, or front. This woman is making use of two sutes, for her baby as well as for the goods she is peddling on the street in Panajachel, Guatemala. And here in the market in Solala, Guatemala, practically all the women we see are using sutes for shade or for carrying things. In the early 80s, when I was working as a childbirth educator and apprentice midwife. I first became interested in the concept of in-arms parenting. What this means basically is the idea of carrying your baby close most of his waking hours until the time he is developmentally ready and chooses to crawl away by himself. This attitude is almost opposite to the assumed correct behavior towards babies in technologically advanced countries, where little ones are placed in devices around us and fussed over when they demand our attention. Babies' needs often seem in direct conflict with those of their parents, and we feel we need to sacrifice ourselves or train them to fit our lifestyles. Perhaps there is a better way, and it was this possibility that drew me to learning all I could about the concept of in-arms parenting, both philosophically and practically. I believe we can take a concept that has worked for thousands of years in cultures all around the world and adapt it to use ourselves in the 1990s wherever we may live. Two books that influenced me greatly in learning about in-arms parenting are The Magical Child by Joseph C. Pierce and The Continuum Concept by Jean Laidlaw. Now, why bother to hold babies in arms and so much? The philosophy behind in-arms parenting, based on studies worldwide since 1956, shows that the infants feel a sense of security and self-esteem that forms the basis of a stable personality that stays with the child his whole life, also giving more self-confidence. The time and proximity of in-arms parenting allow for full bonding between the child and parents, and there's a lot of self-valuing touch. Rebozo babies rarely cry, since they are worn most of the day, breastfed on demand, and sleep next to their mother or parents at night. They usually go around in a state of quiet alertness, very different from how we expect and experience babies in our own culture. Traditional baby wearing is done in cultures that are tribal, where the new mother is provided for materially by the male members of the community and supported by the female family and friends through companionship and task sharing so that she may focus on and bond with her baby. In many of these traditional societies, a young female family member is the one who cares for the baby in rebozo after the first few months, bringing the child to its mother to nurse. In other cultures, the mother is the main carrier. Although some of us may feel that community support during a child's early years is the ideal situation, we may find it hard to create in our own society. What we can do is use the rebozo in ways that are appropriate for where we are and who we are, and incorporate the ideas of in-arms parenting as they fit in our lives today. Sounds great for the baby, you may say, but I just can't go around holding my baby all day. I have other children, a job, a household to run. Actually, rebozo wearing is especially great for busy moms. One of the advantages of wearing your baby instead of holding her is that tying your baby on leaves you with both hands free, as shown by this woman in La Mesilla, Guatemala, with 3 other children to care for. Anyone with a small baby in arms knows the difficulty of maneuvering such simple tasks such as opening a door, counting out change, or holding a small child's hand. One of the advantages of the rebozo is that the motion of the sling against the mother provides the child with the comfort and familiarity so that they are relaxed and comfortable. And, for example, with my own babies, outside noises did not disturb them as long as they were close to my body. This is my eldest son, Van, in the rebozo wrapped on my front when he was about a month old. Here, 2 women from the same tribe, and so dressed identically, meet at the market in San Cristobal de las Casas, Chiapas, Mexico, with their fairly young babies tucked in rebozos on their backs. And here, another vendor in the San Cristobal market works accompanied by her content older rebozo baby on one hip and her toddler playing nearby. Now, how do these third world women's lifestyles relate to those of us who live where there are cars, shopping malls, and supermarkets? Well, one reason for carrying babies that Jean Liloff suggests is great for both the baby and the carrier. She says that babies, like all human beings, build up emotional energy that needs to be discharged, and this can be done by being worn by an active person. In cultures where babies are not normally worn, we consider it normal for them to cry and flail their arms and legs, and in this way they discharge the energy. In rebozo cultures, there is no need to discharge that built-up body tension in these ways, and so the infant's more common state of being is that of the quiet alertness we spoke of before. When your baby is particularly antsy and you need to do some errands, don't leave the child at home to be shushed into a more docile attitude. Do yourselves both a favor. Take him with you, wearing him close and in rhythm with your movements, and watch the transformation that takes place, just as you go about your own active business, not focusing on the baby, but keeping him near your heartbeat, your smell, and your touch. Other in-arms advocates suggest that we graciously receive gifts of strollers from well-meaning friends and relatives, and we use them to carry our purchases while we hold our babies in arms. When my children were small, I made and sold jewelry, and almost all the time I was in public selling, I wore my baby, which we both really enjoyed. Moms who work at jobs that involve a lot of sitting, or where you can't bring your babies with you, can put them on when home after work or on the weekends, and teach those who do care for your little ones to wear them whenever possible. Some ways you might enjoy wearing baby around the house are watering plants or your garden, picking up and sorting laundry, walking around the block, or even if you need to drive to get to the nearby mall or supermarket, taking a minute to stop and put your baby on before you go in. Now, you might think after a hard day of work that it's just too much to put baby on, but think of all the time that we spend pacifying our out-of-arms babies. Putting the baby on and being active can help relax and energize both of us. For just a short time at first, or for longer, switching shoulders after a few hours, we can explore new possibilities of being with our infants. And I know that you, like me, will feel a wonderful delight at being able to move around freely with a calm baby, and even using two hands to help another small child with the baby contentedly on you. We don't have to go to the extent of this mother in La Mesilla, Guatemala, unless we want to. But it really is possible to be flexible and even pick up fairly heavy objects with a baby tied on. Rebozo wearing not only frees mom's hands, but their hearts as well. Having small children need not force us into the traditional isolation of mothers apart from other adults or activities, or into choosing between being with baby or doing anything else in the world. The mental health of both moms and babies is greatly increased when they can get out and interact socially and take care of things that need to be done. Notice here how the rebozo children are content to be present with their mothers without whining or acting out to get attention. For a very young baby, the rebozo can provide a cocoon-like environment nestled next to the mother's heart and breast that leaves the carrier's hands absolutely free, which is especially important for those overwhelming first months. It is also important to note that recent neurological studies have shown that babies really should be carried in a horizontal position until they develop strong neck muscles and begin to hold up their heads by themselves. The newborn rebozo wrap completely envelops the child in an atmosphere of security and familiarity without feeling at all stifling or claustrophobic. Right now, imagine you are inside this very rebozo, the Ware Alaza, looking out. This is how the world would appear against this dark-colored, lightweight cotton cloth with thin rayon stripes. Again, you are looking at me from the baby's point of view, through an all-cotton rebozo from Mora Leon, Mexico. Rebozos are perfect for baby from their very tiny days Until those times, they are generally running everywhere, but may need an occasional lift at the end of a hectic day. I found the rebozo worked